I'm getting ready to head into work. I wanted to talk a little bit about this shooter in New York that murdered the health insurance executive. And I really think that everyone talking about this incident and this guy, that they're missing the boat. And what they're missing is what really happened here. You know, we've had some high-profile incidents in the last year or so, a couple years, and like this, different violent events, shootings and such. And it's pretty much exclusively been leftist. You look at Butler, Pennsylvania, where the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, was shot. Donald Trump was shot by a leftist. You look at oops, sorry about that, guys. Apologize. You look at the golf course shooter, another leftist, right? Nashville, you know, these are all leftist. So you have to ask yourself, what's going on with the left? What's going on with liberalism? And does radical liberalism, and when I say radical liberalism, is as crazy as this may sound to a lot of you, radical liberalism has become pretty mainstream. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. If you're already subbed to my channel, please like the video. Now, when you're talking about a healthcare CEO, you're not going to get a lot of people sympathetic to the health insurance industry. Everybody has a story of someone that was denied this or denied that. I have stories of my own. But that's not what this is about, okay? You look at this lunatic's manifesto, everything that's come out about him right now, and they want to quickly just brush him off as some Ivy League insane spoiled brat who's got mental issues. Well, most anybody that commits an act of violence at this level has some type of mental issue. The prisons are filled with people that have varying levels of mental illnesses, okay? That's just the way it is. So, you know, that's just a way to excuse what's going on here. What's happened with the left, and I think most of you will agree with this, what's happened with liberals is they have been just brainwashing young people from pre-K through graduate school for the last decade or more, in particular since Trump came down the escalator, which, you know, this murderer grew up during that period. His mind was formed during that period. You have the media and you have the education system telling you that anyone who is not a radical liberal leftist is a Nazi, is a white supremacist, is dangerous, that is responsible for all these horrific things. So it's not surprising that you have these radical liberals that are acting out in the way that this guy did. You know, typically when there's a high-profile shooting incident, what happens is the media and the left, they want to talk about gun control and all of that, which of course just doesn't work. I mean, this guy had a 3D printed gun, it's being reported. And I've been talking for years about how the liberal debate on gun control, gun confiscation, getting guns off the street, that discussion's mute right now. It's just a moot discussion. And the reason it's a moot discussion is because of the 3D printing technology. There's no gun control that would stop that. If every American willingly turned in their guns and there were no more gun stores, no more legally owned guns, guns as we know it were gone, instantly 3D printers, all the gangbangers, all the cartels, all the criminals, they'd be printing up guns. So the gun control debate is just a out of time, out of style, dated discussion. But there needs to be a real discussion of this hate speech that's taking place from the left. I don't care what this guy did. You know, this executive. I don't know anything about him really other than what's been reported. No one has sympathy for health insurance companies. I get that. I mean, you know. But it doesn't justify an act of violence against someone because you do not approve of what it is that they do for a living. The real discussion is what is motivating these leftists to shoot people like the Butler shooter. And I'll tell you another, and I think it's liberal hate speech, like you get from Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, and the MSNBC crowd, like you've been getting from Joe Biden with that speech that he gave in front of the building in Philadelphia with red in the background, right? The gates of hell speech, it's often referred to. They have been preaching, it started since Charlottesville, they've been preaching the left, this brainwashing hate speech of all these terrible things against conservatives, against MAGA, against executives, against rich people, even though the shooter was rich, against white people, and they've got a problem. I'll tell you another thing, too, that's very disturbing. Look at everything we know about this shooter. You know, I saw a clip of him at his high school graduation or something I saw this morning on YouTube. It's been, 12 hours since they got him? And you know everything about this guy. You know all his family relations. You know who he follows on X, who follows him, where he went to school, who all his relatives are, you know, immediate relatives, extended family. What do we know about the Trump shooters, both of them? The golf course shooter. We know nothing about the golf course assassin. We don't know where he was staying here in Florida, how long he was here, all these things. We know nothing. How did he finance his trip here? How did he get the rifle? Same with the Butler shooter. What do we know about these shooters? Nothing. And in 12 hours, we've got the entire life story of this shooter out of New York. Now, why is that? But no, you look at these high-profile incidents that have been in the news the last few years, almost exclusively radical leftists that have been riled up by the left. Just like after the Rittenhouse verdict, when that lunatic killed those people at the Christmas parade, running his truck through, radicalized by the hate speech over at MSNBC, and he went and did what it is that he did. The left are out of control, and the left have been, in my opinion, you can let me know if you agree or disagree, but to me, the left not only have been using very hardcore hate speech against all these different types of people, they've been inciting violence with it. And nothing seems to slow them down. And no one's even talking about this aspect of these things. You know, this healthcare CEO shooter, you know, radicalized in the universities, hardcore leftist. I mean, that's it. And what do they teach? Capitalism's evil. Rich people are evil, even though he's rich. You know, white man bad. These are, you know, come on. And you can even see it in the reaction of the left with the shooting. It's almost, they've been literally cheering on what the guy did because they don't like rich CEOs of major corporations, because liberals believe that rich CEOs that lead major corporations, no matter what the corporation is, unless it's Planned Parenthood, are evil by definition and are successful or in business because they exploit people. That's what the left teach. It's Marxism, communism, hate speech, and I think we should call out the left on it. That's just me. I'm pretty fed up with what's going on. And now look at what happened with the acquittal in New York. You know, so let me get this straight from the left. Now, luckily, he was acquitted. Shockingly acquitted in New York. Penny. What the left believe, and they're openly saying this, is that if you are out somewhere and you see someone victimizing people, threatening violence, threatening their lives, committing acts of violence against them, that the person that's a criminal is the one who stands up to protect the helpless people and defends them. This is where they've come. This is how far to the radical lunatic fringe the Democrats, the left, have come. And what we really need to do to combat this is, well, of course, call it out like I'm doing right now. But also, it's more than just calling it out like I'm doing right now. It's also necessary to do a mass recruitment drive. And Charlie Kirk could do this with Turning Point. A mass recruitment drive for teachers of all levels. Grade school, middle school, high school, the colleges, graduate school. We need to get rid of these blue hair, radical, Marxist, hating everything in the world, teachers and professors that are brainwashing our youth. And there really needs to be some accountability for people in the media, like Joy Reid and others, who are inciting violence regularly through their hate speech, these people on The View. I mean, what they're doing is irresponsible, and it's causing people to get hurt, and in some instances, maybe even killed. Well, listen, I'm going to head off to work. Again, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. If you're already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video. My next stream will be live in about 90 minutes, and I'm going to cover this in detail, as well as Matt Gaetz's new role and a lot of other things. I mean, yesterday was just, we'll talk about Daniel Penny, we'll take calls, and we got a lot to cover on the stream today, and I will be taking live calls. So make sure you follow and subscribe. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you on the next stream. Thanks for watching.